Good morning, traders. This is Rose. Today is Wednesday, October 5th, 6 minutes after 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Welcome, welcome. Okay, we are done with the horoscopes, so cool it, everybody. I gave you what I could, okay? That's it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yesterday, what a day. I mean, I walked away. I had to get out and then come back. So I left around close to 2 o'clock, and I was still sitting there and trading, believe it or not. But what happened yesterday was very interesting. But you knew that this area I marked as possible resistance, and I said from here to about 4 to 6. Okay, let's see, like from here to there, I said about 4 to 6 points yesterday is a major resistance, and we kept testing and testing and testing and testing. So we had a very climactic, open. It's always in long with first bar 2. So I told you guys to stay in your long and not sell. And it went pretty well, but it's parabolic wedge, and it's also spike and quick pullback. It's trying to go up to new highs. But I said this area is resistance, although we have target up here. I don't know why I lost that. For some reason I lost that line, but 38.15, and I was really hoping that we would get to the 38.15. Maybe we would just break out again. But you could see that bears were not doing well. I didn't want to sell, and I said I think we're gonna keep the gap, and bar 30 kept the gap. But then I also said, if you really want to know where the resistance is, okay, so you have a breakout here, and you can measure that breakout. All right, so we're gapping up also. This was the target. This is measured move, almost like a gap target in a way. But really, I said, pay attention to this. There is a reason why I make this line thick and dash. I know you guys don't like to use fibs, whatever. I don't either. I don't use fibs. It's the way that I look at things and where, machines are going to take profit. I need to know it, 100%. So this is the only way I do it. And I warned you guys that we have no bull bars closing above that line, no bull bars. We tried again, and bulls tried once, failed. Bulls tried twice, failed. So now I'm thinking, okay, so we're not able to get up there. Okay, so this is definitely resistance, and it's trying to sell, and that is fine by me. However, the problem here is that what will the bulls do when we finally actually test the EMA? And we test the EMA with bar 39. I kept saying to you guys that bar 39 could be the bar that we would test, or 40. I don't know, one or the other, but that's a midday. Now, once I see that, it's, wait a minute, are we going to do a midday reversal? Because the bulls are completely, kind of gave up here. But I'm looking for, at this point, gave up bear bars, the bulls to give up. But I don't see it up until 38 happened. But it's still, listen, 38 is finally the touch. Should have been maybe a very weak bear bar, so it's not a weak bear bar. I don't like it. This is a lower high. That makes this one first entry short, 2 legs, and then it makes bar 38 and 39 second entry short. So then bar 40 happened. I said, that's it. That's the give up bar. Then I measured from that high, okay, to that low. I said, let's find out, is this a halfway back, 50% pullback? Because, bar 40 is pretty big. So we get the bear flag, okay, so, and then we sell with a second leg first into. So I sold that immediately. I sold underneath bar 40. I didn't even look back. I didn't care. And then I was actually prepared to sell again at the EMA if it were to pull the EMA. It never did. It closed another bar, 44. I sold that one too. I took profit at the 50, and then I saw that the 50 was being breached. We were not, pulling back, and I kept the runner right here. I think just about 1 or 2 ticks above, I took profit because I needed to get out of the house, and that's where I took profit. That's basically a halfway back. It's just overextending. But if you use this, okay, if you divide this range from yesterday's basically high or the open to the high, okay, or the low to the high or high to the low, whatever. So basically you divide it into 3 sections, right? So section 1, section 2, section 3, and we just literally tested that, and the buyers finally show up. But that made a very bullish day, a trading range day. Although it's not a true trading range because we didn't really come all the way down and tested the open, okay, open of the day, right there. But look where we ended up testing, guys. Yesterday I said we were right around here, and market was coming down with 2 legs. I said this is way too bullish. I'd be careful selling this because there are limit order buyers underneath 8 waiting, underneath 7 waiting. But if we do breach, okay, most likely this bar is what I'm interested. Bar is bar 5. Okay, so if we start to sell and we get strong bear bars, we move underneath EMA, we become always in short 40 and 41. Okay, you have 2 bear bars closing below EMA. I would sell and I would take profit here. That ended up being the 50%, I believe. But there's another breakout point right there, and that was another bar that the market actually tested. So you don't really need to measure like the way I measured. Try to recognize these bars. Look, market, I said pause right there. So that's the first pullback. Then it paused again, second pullback, and then it went for a third push up. So I said this is a parabolic wedge, and I said that little bar, bar 3, is your first pullback. Look at the wick, okay? So when you are trading a wedge failures, where do you think the market is going to go and test? Those pullback, okay, or after the pullback where the new leg begins, those are the areas we're going to test. So what did the market do? They tested that low, okay, or you could say the leg began with bar 6, so then you take profit there. And then they kept selling. They either tested that pullback low, or you could say, nope, I'm going to take early profit right underneath where the second leg began, which is bar 4 low. You take profit early so you don't have to deal with these wicks, okay? Because that wick is basically traders are scrambling to find buyers so they can dump their short positions and cover and get out. So instead of trying to take profit there and scramble, okay, take profit where the legs actually begin, okay? So that's the parabolic wedge targets when you're selling, okay, for reversal. All right, so hopefully that's clear, and you will remember that. All right, so then what do we do? So think about this as a halfway back, okay? Is market open? No, not yet. So the Globex session is extended. We're probably coming down here, this area. There's support there, so keep an eye on that. So we have halfway back, but is basically it's spike, maybe channel, and a pullback, deep pullback, in fact. So you could say we're going to go back up again. We're going to go test that high, most likely, and that's what we're going to do. So here is your resistance. Okay, so we go back and we test that resistance. Because this leg is so big, okay, and it's very strong leg, chances are bears are going to try to make some kind of double top or triple wedge top at the EMA, and they're going to try to get a bear flag. But overall day is bullish, so you're trying to sell against something that's still bullish. Okay, so it's kind of difficult. So just count the wedge formations. First leg, pullback, maybe second leg, okay, and pullback, and the third leg. Or you could say, well, there is maybe a wedge there. Actually, there is there. Yep. So there's one there. So like first pullback, second pullback, and third in a way. So, and you're wondering if you can actually sell here, because this right here, bar 42, highs that we're testing, and then we're coming down a little bit. But again, I would not want to sell against this strong two-legged bull move. But if you do sell, okay, where are you going to take profits, right? So where did the next leg begin, second leg begin, or the third one kind of began right there. So you're thinking maybe we would come down there, okay? But look, we couldn't even come down. So it was very difficult to say. This was actually 1, 2, 3 push and a wedge. It ends up being, this is actually the last push, third push. So first pullback, second pullback, and the third push. So the wedge was not done, okay? So we're going to push again. And why? Because this is kind of a bull flag, and this is a halfway back. So we are going to go test that high most likely. We go back into the EMA, the resistance, okay? So that bar right there, last bull bar before the impulse, 1, 2, 3. See that? This is a major sell zone on its own. I can actually modify it like this and pretend that we're going to be hitting a brand new resistance this time. And you can actually take the whole area, okay? And if you bought it, look, that's the early take profit. Why? Because they're trying to overlap with bar 36. Because there is a bear gap here, okay? So before the bear gap, okay, very first bull bar, body is target, basically, or the lows. 36 low, 36 body. So we could not overlap with the bar 36 body, so that means bear gap is slightly open. That's another reason why they sold, because there's this gap right there. Bears want to keep it open. But really, what I'm interested in, this bar, 39, okay, because that area is where we're going to go. It's closer to the high of this trading range. So we go up there, and finally we sell. So now you have one. You could say, well, can I take this as wedge? No, that will not be accurate. This is your leg, this is your pullback, this is your leg, this is your pullback, and this is your leg. So wedge is this for me. And now we come down with 2 legs, but look what happened. We trapped the bears right there at the EMA with bar 71. So if you were looking to buy again, all right, basically you're looking for high 2, okay, at the EMA, all right? So basically you're looking for high 1 and high 2. So you could put a buy order right above 71 and go long. So you could take profit there, or you could take profit at that high. Since this is still a trading range, buyers are probably waiting at these highs, or they're going to sell at that high, and they're going to sell a little bit further above. But you ran out of time. There's not much time left to the close. So, but they sold anyway. They ended up closing there. So yesterday, I said that we are going to probably close, okay, above the EMA. I don't know if you guys paid attention to that. Even though we had a deep pullback, market is bullish, okay? So it's trying to close. We're going to either close above the EMA, or we're going to close closer to the EMA. But it's going to be around or above the EMA. So there you go. Second is bull day. We failed to test the 20 EMA on the daily charts, although I'm not sure that could be SMA. But regardless, you know, you end up outside up day, follow through day, so we're bullish. We continued. All right, so today we have Globex session is rather large. That is the Globex high. Now we broke down the structure, okay, but we have a wedge on the 15-minute chart. We have actually several. Look what's happening here. This could be that very deep pullback bull flag that I talked about, which is the number 1, okay, bull flag, the option, right? Very deep pullback closer to the lows. So look at this pole right here. We had a breakout test. We're testing, but we're breaking that down. So what does this mean? Well, let's find a buy zone. I mean, I already found it and put it out there, but you see that bar right there, that bear bar? Market can pull in here before having an attempt to swing high. So at the open, we might end up selling, and that's why I marked this area. We might end up coming down. So if you're planning on buying at the open, you might want to give yourself a little bit of time. Okay, so let's wait for market to test this area. Unless they want to reverse this right away, then I would look for certain buy signals, but I'm not in any hurry to buy this, because there's also a measured move target. Now you can use the same price action on higher time frames, 15, 30, 1 hour, 4 hour, whatever you're trading, okay, daily. So measured move is measured move, and there you have it right there. Let me take that high. So 47.25 is the measured move on the 15-minute charts. Okay, so basically, let's see, there's some kind of a limit order market here, and most likely buyers are at the lows, and 2 bull bars. Buyers are probably underneath the 72, and they did show up there. I have a breakout bar right there. That's a breakout pullback. So they did buy because bar 75 did not get follow through, second bear bar, and you have another high 1, high 2, high 3, high 4. So you can see that we're going up and test these highs, 66 and that. So, and if you haven't bought it, then you can buy bar 77. The only problem buying bar 77 is from 77, 78, 79, these are institutional orders. So they can make the market look like going up only to reverse it, or make it going down only to reverse it up. I don't like to trade those, but if I'm in a trade, I'll hold it. And bar 40 was definitely sell, and you expect another leg or two down. So you can actually even say this is leg 1, pullback. Here is leg 2, pullback, and leg 3. So you got a wedge there. So you know if the third leg started to sell here, and if you buy above 1 tick above 47, you better take profit right there. Okay. So here is some profit taken, comes down a little bit, but goes back and closes above. So where we're going to that pullback. It's keep overshooting. I don't know why, but who cares, because there is a gap here. It's trying to get there. Your job is to pay yourself. Okay. So in that gap, because it's a structural breakdown, look at that structure. So it's a breakout test, right? Either we're going to test the bar 30 low or 36 low. 30 low, okay, or 36 low, one or the other. And that's exactly what we did. So you can mark those lows because that's a breakout test area and a gap. And as price gets there, start taking profit, because it can come down with 3 legs. It did. So here is leg 1, pullback, leg 2, pullback, and finally leg 3. Bar 60 is a breakout bar. Again, if you want to sell like bar 60, here's your problem. Where is your continuation bar? So you should wait for a pullback, okay, because now you're testing this breakout test area. Okay, so there are probably buyers there, okay, and the buyers did show up. Now, say you sold it and you're hoping to make money because you're thinking maybe we're going to go test bar 50, or maybe we're going to go test down here. Now, if you sold bar 60, then bar 61 happens. What are you going to do? You can do 2 things. You can hit close, get out, be done with it, or you can sell the close of that bar, because we have about 1, 2, there's several bars overlapping, so this is a small trading range. Okay, so either sell that close or put sell orders at the high of that wick, 50% of that wick, whatever fills you, because you sold here. Let's see if we actually would able to get break even. Okay, so you sold here, or you sold one tick underneath bar 60, okay? And then you sell again, say at the close, you got filled right there, but smack in the middle, you did not get filled, the wick 50%, or at the high, you can cancel those out. As bar 62 comes to the 50%, that's your break even. Market gives you, it actually comes down to here, look where I marked. Market gives you exit. That is great, but you have to be very quick about it. Okay, so this is how you exit out. If you don't want to close, hit close button and take a loss, but you have to be super quick about it. Once you get out, there's a flag here, so they're trying to go back up. They're trying to close this gap from there to there. Okay, so there was a gap here. They already closed with that high, so now they close it all together and then go close that gap. So you know they're trying to get to the bar 37 low or overlap with the body of bar 37, and they did. And then finally, they take profit because there's a wedge there. So it's second bear bar 67, really good close. You can sell the close, or you can put a sell stop underneath, because if market is still bullish and wants to make a new high, it probably won't fill your sell stop, so you're safe, okay? But at this point, you're in a trading range, okay? And chances are it's better to sell that close rather than sitting there with a sell stop. But you can use the sell stop. And your stop is there, right? So you're looking for a 1-to-1 somewhere here. So if I actually measure it, you'll know. So if you sold right there underneath, you put your stop there, that's your 1-to-1. Okay, so we go beyond it, but no bear bars are closing, so you're never going to get to 2-to-1. Okay, there is yet another trading range here, and immediately buyers were at the lows. You can see the bar 69 body went up. It's a really terrible bear close, so you know the bulls are still in the market. And now, can you buy that bar? I would not buy this bar. I would not buy one tick above it, because that body to me is still strong. And because this is a limit order market sideways, if I want to buy something, I'm going to buy at the 50% of that wick. And then we come down, right? And then we even go further, fill those limit orders. And even if you don't know anything about the 50% buying of, bar 69, you see a pattern like this, okay? It's like, what is the word I'm looking for? Is barbed wire, okay? So barbed wire is actually like this, right? It's like this. You see that right there? Low, high, low, low, high, low, okay? And this one's a little bit higher. You see that? So it's basically, this is telling you limit orders entered also below that. So market goes up, comes down, and then closes there, and then just goes right up. So once, if I haven't entered bullish, if I hadn't buy the 50% of that pin bar, and I've done nothing, I see this, and I see a bull close, I'm buying that. I'm going to buy the close of 71, market, buy market, or I'm going to buy one tick above. I'm going to drop my buy stop order one tick above 71. I'm going to get in right away. Same thing happens yet again. Look, another barbed wire, but we're making higher lows, right? So limit orders still entering right there. So what does this mean? We're going to keep going up. We're going to test that high, most likely. Okay, market is open. We just gap down, okay? Let's see if we can find some resistance at that breakout test area for bears, right around there. And let's see if we can actually continue to sell, make new lows. And we might be able to. So gap down. Where can the price, where can the market take us? How far can we go? Let's see. Well, it's right there in front of you. Okay, this area, I'm going to take a look at, there's a gap here. Bear's going to have to try closing this gap, but this gap is potential bullish pressure. Okay, so it's going to be very difficult. Now, what if we do come down a little bit below and then the buyers are waiting? Because this is now a trading range. We opened in a trading range, okay? So if this is your trading range low, okay, there might be buyers there. So what if we do come down? I'm going to look to see if I can actually buy, because most likely bulls are going to try to keep this gap open. Okay, so plus we had some news came out earlier. So ADP employment report, international trading goods. It's 9:45 is PMI composite final, and then you get the ISM. Okay, so any news starts with I and ends with I. Okay, PMI, ISM. These are big news. They can move the market pretty fast, pretty hard. So I'm gonna wait. I'm just not gonna do anything here. You know, bulls might be still wanting to buy, just like yesterday, if they want to stay bullish. So I would look for 2 bull bars, preferably both of them closing on their mid and highs, or one of them is stronger, you know, than the other one. That would be buy at the lows and go further up. So bulls might be looking to close above that and then go test that right there, possible, or to close. So we gapped down and we have a gap to the EMA. What can happen? Well, we are below the EMA. So we might actually either make a, you know, double top before we touching the EMA, then we could sell. Or we're going to do 1, pullback, 2, pullback, 3, and then we're going to sell. We could come down since we're in a trading range. We can make another trading range, but swing could start from there. So that's what I'm going to be looking for now. Big bar, so we are reacting to the news, most likely. ADP report, international trading goods. Big bar, it's risky bar. Now, let's take a look at all the. I have to wait for this bar to close. I don't know if it's going to close bullish. My data is not, hold on, let me check. My data is fine, but this is not, okay, now we're back. For some reason, the chart's not showing. Okay, I'm back. I am back to normal. And if you're wondering where we're going, there is a falling resistance line. It's actually, I should do a better job with that. Bulls trying to get to that, tested, and break above it. And this is the ETH chart. This is ETH 5-minute. So on the ETH, that trend line seems like attracting. It's a big bull bar. It's very risky to buy. If you buy it, your stop needs to be down here, okay? But a bar like that might continue to go up higher, okay? So it's probably going to drift further up. Bulls are trying to break above it. We became very bullish, but can we end up getting sellers here? It is possible, okay, because there you see that congestion area. So I'm going to get rid of this now. I'm no longer interested in that measured move down. And in this area, I'm watching to see if the bulls are going to try to go further up to the midnight open and close this gap. All right, so I would have scalped right here if you bought this, close bar 1. This is where I would take profit a little bit because you don't know if this bulls are going to be able to close above this trend line, okay? So now we have a second bull bar, good for the bulls. If they do close this bar also bullish, we're definitely going to go test that low, okay? see if the bulls can actually close this bar on its high or on its mid at minimum. Now, if that bar 2 closes on its mid level, that means the body is probably going to close higher than the bar 1's high. So that's bullish pressure. And we could get a very quick move to the 80.25. ATR is 13 points, so you know we're going to overshoot eventually everything. It's just too strong. Because that's resistance right there. Okay, so at the open, you also want to see, at the open and at the close, if you wonder where price can stop or may not go continue, further up and reverse this, take a look at your 1 hour chart and try to find some resistance and support levels. That's how I would use my 1 hour chart. Someone was asking me about this yesterday, and I tried to explain it and I posted some charts. But basically, you use the support and resistance. You see that area, there's a gap there. Excuse me. And this right here is resistance and all the way to the wick. So we're testing that. And, what if we cannot go to 80.25? Well, I don't know yet. The bar hasn't closed. So something that looks like bullish suddenly turns into a overlapping 2 bars, okay? That means it's going to be a small trading range. There's no way, I can assume that we're going to go up here. So this is why I like to wait for second bar to close to get more information, because bar 1 is nice, but I did say it's a very risky bar. So if you do buy the close, you want to scalp, okay? So say you bought that close right there. That is almost 6 points, right? So ATR was at that time 12, 13 points, right? So it's not even 6 points to begin with, but your scalp is less than half. So wait a minute, bulls cannot even get a half the ATR, okay, scalp here. What does that mean? It may not be that bullish after all, okay? So if the bulls are having a hard time scalping half a position, okay, and not be able to, have these bars go up to that low, there's a problem here. And it's because the bar 1 is extremely risky, because machines or the market makers, they know you're going to buy that bar. They know you're going to hold on to it, probably these lows. So they know you're going to probably put your stop there, or you're going to put it on there here if you're looking for a wide stop. So they're probably going to get you. I did not buy bar 1. I mean, even with micros, I probably wouldn't have entered. But even if I entered it, I would look for price to go above bar 1's high, go further up. Listen, I would grab a 2 point, 3 point, 4 point, whatever I can, up to 5 point. 5 point scalp is a good scalp. You ended up making from that high, okay, 3.5. But if you bought the close, you made more than 5 points. So did you make 5 points? That's good. You made 5 points, but it's a risky bar. So now where can you buy again? Say you got stuck. 50% of that bar, probably buyers are there. So if you measure that, okay, that's the 50%. You could put a buy order there. You could put a buy order to the 66% right there. You're going to get filled, and you can actually maybe look to break even. Or you could say, no, I'm going to take the whole range, which is that, and I'm going to enter here. That's not how I do it. I don't take that. Because you're stuck buying a very risky bar 1. It was too big, too fast at the open. You don't know where we're going to go up. And yes, I said we're probably going to go up here, but we didn't get a second bull bar close. So that kind of fizzled out. And you're stuck. So buy here. So if you entered there, and then you entered again here, okay, right at the 50%, let me mark that, right there. So I'm calculating, I'm looking to see where can I break even. So where's your break even? Which bar breaks you even? Bar 3. Bar 3 gives you a full chance of break even and get out. See how I calculated that? I entered at the close, most likely, or even if you didn't enter at the close, say you entered at the high, okay? Right there. And the 50% is right there. You didn't get a chance, but look, one tick failed. But still, listen, losing one tick versus losing this much, 17 points, or you entered from here, right? 12 points, one tick versus 12 points. I will take that one tick loss. I don't care as long as I know how to calculate to get out with break even. So hopefully these lessons are helping you because this is how I calculate it. 9:45 news coming up, so watch out. Market is kind of set up to be bearish a little bit, but we are in a trading range. There is, like I said, gap down here. Okay, so bears want to eat into that gap a little bit. Now, what could happen here? Well, look what just happened there, right? We reacted to the news at the open, like I said. I still have my trend line from the 1 hour chart. Bulls actually breached above it and started to take profit, but they could not go further up. And we made a double top and a neckline. See that? Double top and a neckline, because there is a very climactic or parabolic, okay, wedge there. So now we have a neckline. So is this a measured move down? Possible. So are we going down to the 20 EMA on 1 hour chart? I don't know. Somewhere between that and that, somewhere here, we might end up testing and then go back up and then look to sell. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen, but looks like we're coming down. So somewhere in between that 10 SMA and that right there, 20 EMA, somewhere here, we might test maybe underneath that big bar, okay? There could be buyers there, or last week's high is going to hold the bears in their place and not going to, allow the break. So that's kind of smack in the middle. It's close to it. So we might breach a little bit, and then start to close a hourly bar above that line, last week's high. We could still bounce and buy. So that makes us slightly, okay, bearish, but it's not really bearish, okay? Then what is this? Trading range. Ooh, I do not want to do that. So trading range, okay? So we have 3-bar trading range. News coming up in 10 seconds. Okay. So I am not, bullish, and I just show you guys how to get out of your position if you were to be stuck. So I'm going to look to see what the market is going to do here. Now, it can actually come all the way down to 58.25, 37.58.25. Okay, it might even breach and test 57 and maybe continue to come down to 54.50. Let's see if bears can actually continue to sell into low of yesterday. Now, there will be probably buyers waiting at 58.25. They're going to try to prevent a bear body close below that. So I'm going to look to see what market will do at 58.25. 58.25, I want to see a test. I want to see what they're going to do there. I think my data connection just stopped. I don't know what's going on. Is it because of news? It just stopped. And the application died. So I apologize for that. Hang on a minute. As soon as volatility comes in, this is a news candle, so This is a news candle, so I'm following along on the Thinkorswim. We're still in a trading range. There's no decision yet. Ninja, my data connection is not responding, although I am active. Okay. Thinkorswim is moving, but the Ninja stopped. All right, give me a second to fix this. Okay, that's more like it. That's good. 70, 25, 70, 50. Okay, I'm caught up. That's good. Just needed a little bit of TLC. Okay, I'm back on. Hey, when you guys are posting your charts, especially if you're in Ninja, just make sure to hide the chart trader where your account information, account number may show. I know Brent doesn't see it, but somebody can tell him, okay? We do not want to see charts with personal information on there, okay? Because we can't be responsible of members here, what's being shown. So let him know when he's posting a chart. Posting charts are welcome, please do. That's exactly what we want you to do, but exclude the private, the personal information. I know you don't, but I can't. It starts with, I think he's using some kind of prop firm. So, yeah. He's reading it the wrong way. All right, so what's happening here now? We are in a trading range. Bar one, big risky bull bar. If you bolt the close, you got to be hurry up, okay, just and get some scalping. We got more than 5 points, 5 points and 3 ticks. So that's a good scalp, but it's showing you that it's not going anywhere. Then the bar two closes very bearish. There might be still buyers, break-even buyers at the mid part of the bar one wanting to break even. They broke even with bar two high, and then bulls are trying yet again, but now we have 5 bars overlapping. So bulls tried once, bulls tried twice. So now the bears might try to sell for the second time. It's a mess at the moment. So it's a limit order market. Any strong bull close will sell, okay, because they already sold bar one, so you know this is going to be a limit order market. If they can sell a bar one close like that, they're going to sell bar four close, okay, and they just did. So sell bar four close, okay, and they just did. So it's tough. So the machines are trying to make money here for the second time, selling a strong bull bar. Okay, let's see. So you can see that they just sold bar four and making money. Another way to figure out that we're at, where you can sell, there's a small trading range here. So anytime a bull bar closes near a trading range high, you can put a sell order right there with a limit order and a way to get filled. And then you can either grab a 1 or 2 point, see if you can get the half of the ATR with a scalp. So if you actually sold, okay, there, from there, so the market made about 8.5 points. ATR at that time was 12, I think. So basically, your scalp is 6 points, but it gave you a lot more than 6 points, and that was a really safe, okay, yeah, safe scalp. But it's limit order market. Again, we're still in the limit order market. Look what they did with that strong bear close bar 5. Machines bought it immediately. So now we have a triangle. Now we need a third touch. Okay, we have 1 pullback, 2 pullback, and a third touch at the upper TL. So we need a third touch down here because we did not get that. So most likely this might come down. What if it doesn't? What if it just breaks out? Well, we know that bulls are trying to go up here and close part of that the gap above, bearish gap. What could happen? Well, if we fail to come down here and we break out, that means we might end up making a double top with that, or double top at the EMA, and then maybe come down. Or we're going to keep making new highs, so up, down, maybe up, down, and the third push, we might come down into that apex of the triangle. So I'm watching what the market is going to do here. We're stuck in this triangle. It's going to break out. Why? Well, we do have bar 4 outside, and we have now inside. So bar 6 is inside of bar 5, but the bar hasn't closed, so I can't really call it inside, but I'm just pointing it out. I'd like to see market test this lower trend line and finish that third touch. Did you guys hear that? Sorry, I was just trying to help someone. You know, I'm a little bit of a paranoid person when it comes to financial information, so I'm gonna look out for you guys. You don't know. I mean, listen, we have 1.6. I mean, 1,600 people in here. I don't know who's who. I mean, I love you all. I mean, individually, you guys are wonderful, great people. But come on now, you know, we got to be a little bit more careful. So I was just letting the person know, and I was trying to type it fast. Sorry about that background noise. I thought I muted myself. All right, so when in TR, is the MB method still a valid? Oh, yes, totally. Yeah, you can still use that. So what is your outside? I just talked about an outside bar, right? So which bar is that? So that's bar 4. So basically we're stuck inside bar 4, right? And when I see an outside bar and bunch of bars stuck in it, I start to anticipate a breakout. So that's basically the whole point of that, you know, method that I talked about. All right, so you have an inside bar, and where will the breakout come from? So I don't know, right? So like I said, bulls tried once, failed. Bulls tried twice, failed. Now bears tried once, failed. Now bears are still trying for the second time. I don't know where it's going to go. So what I'm paying attention to is the 50% of that outside bar, okay, and the high and the low. And I'm going to look to see if there is a bar, a bear bar closing below the low of 4. That would give me a breakout for bears. But if I get a bull bar closing above the bar 4 high, that would give me an indication the bulls are trying to break out from the upside. I don't have it. It's sideways, so I rather just sit and wait. It's a tight trading range. All right, here we go. It's at 10 o'clock. We had a news. What was that again? ISM service index. So this is news also, news related. Okay, so we have a breakout. Bears are trying to get to that. That's your scalp right there, 37.53.75. See if they can get that. They should be able to get that. But it could bounce very quickly. Be careful. Low of yesterday seems like a magnet. Bears need to close that bar bearish, but it's a brand new bar, so it could continue to sell into the low of yesterday. Low of yesterday is at the 1.5 risk reward. So we could test that and bounce there, or we're going to keep selling into the 2 to 1. All right, so that to me is all right, but it's not really a full 1 to 1. Now, if we do close that bar bearish underneath bar 4, that breakout is going to be valid and we could continue to sell. Okay? I'm just giving you guys an early target with the inside bar. So this area now on the Globex session still is support. Be careful. And on the hourly, we're still pushing down to the middle of these 2 moving averages or test of that hour's low. All right, so we just got a perfect 1 to 1 target. If that bear bar closes below 37.53.75, we continue to come down to 1.5 risk reward. Bears need to close a bear bar below to continue into the 2 to 1. So low of yesterday might be doable, but I'd like to see this bar close below 53.75 first. All right. See how it gets closer to the 1.5 risk reward and it just bounces and bounces, because bulls do not want this 2 to 1 hit, because if we get the 2 to 1, we can get the 3 to 1, which happens to be the magnet 1 hour EMA. So we could end up coming down to 3 to 1. Here is the problem with 3 to 1. When market reaches a 3 to 1 risk reward, okay, majority of the bulls are going to be irked a lot because they know that this is it. If they start to close bear bars below that, what they're going to do is they're going to exit out of the market, okay, in a very speedy fashion, and that could create more bear bars, and we could continue to go into 4 to 1 right there. So I'm watching now. Okay, here we go. 2 to 1 is next. So they just need to close that bar either on the 2 to 1 in 1.5 minutes or below 1.5 risk reward. You see how accurate 1.5 right there? Now, how can the bears fail? Well, if they go and close bar here, or maybe right up there or inside suddenly, so this bar ends up closing up here, we may not sell anymore. That's because 1 to 1 risk reward breakout failed. But we don't know that yet, so there's still 56 seconds. Bears are trying to close below that 1.5 to go test quickly 2 to 1, 37.44.25. But first, 46.25, and maybe since ATR is too big, we're going to overshoot the 45, so this looks very doable to me, 44.25. Let's see. There are probably sell stop orders, 1 tick underneath this big bar, and they're looking for a measured move target. So that is the measured move continuation bear target, 39.75. So 2 to 1 is doable, but look where the 39.75 is. It's almost smack in the middle between 2 to 1 and 3 to 1. So that's going to act as, bears could fail there if they do bring the market down there. But first, they need to show me that they can get that 2 to 1. So they made a new low. So they have activated all those sell stop orders underneath that breakout bar. Every breakout, you will always get some kind of pullback. And now, you can do 2 things. You can stay in your short and wait for this pullback to end, and we get continuation down with bear bars. You would only know if the pullback bar ends up being a strong bull bar And then after that, it fails to put in a bear bar. That means the breakout was false and it's not getting any follow through. And that's how you decide to sell at the highs to get a break even to exit out of your losing short position. So I'm just thinking ahead, but at this point, we are still in sell below or sell the close, okay? So 2 to 1 is right around the corner. Measured move target is right there. Magnet is below at the 3 to 1. So I think bears might keep pushing this unless bulls start to surprise us here. All right. So why would the bulls surprise us? Well, look left. It's right in front of you. I've been pointing out this whole area is support. So can we actually fail here? I don't know. I said wait for bears to come and test in between the two measured moves, but really 1 hour EMA is a target. I said we're probably going to test the low of this hourly bar, which we just did with this hour. Okay, so there's still 23 minutes left for this hour to close. So we could continue to sell before the next hour maybe reverses. Okay, so what am I looking for? I was looking for a wedge up or double top up at the EMA. Now I'm looking for maybe 1, pullback 2, pullback 3, and then I'm going to look to see if bulls can start a swing long. So this bears still have it in them. I think they're going to keep pushing down until they find buyers ready to come in the market. So therefore 2 to 1 is target, 2.5 is target, measured move is actually almost a 2.5, and then the 3 to 1 is target because it's right at the magnet. Well, we already breached the low of yesterday with this bar. We tested it. Yes, it's significant, but if market wants to keep pushing down and we have magnets, you can't assume the buyers are just waiting there. They might be waiting there. They might be already buying low of, yes, some machines will buy the low of yesterday. But look what we got. Okay, we have this huge gap here. Okay, market might be trying to fill some of it. Okay, because we are in a trading range and it's also double top neckline, but it's a terrible break of the neckline to get a bigger measured move. So I don't know how far we're going to come down. Probably may not come down to the 4 to 1. That's the 4 to 1 target, also the measured move, but we may and close half of this, okay, a bullish gap. I don't know. Right now I'm looking at smaller targets. I'm going to leave this measured move just in case, okay, the bigger structure. So right now, if I'm selling, I'm going to take profit at 2 to 1. 44.25. It's a big bar and a big breakout. So even if we go back up right here, there are probably sellers waiting at the breakout test area. Okay, so I'll probably sell. But right now I'm waiting for bears to finish this 2 to 1 target. And then maybe drift a little bit further down, see if they can do it. Look at the bar 8. Bar 8 is a strength bar. Why? Because the body closed on its low, closed beyond the bar 7 low. Why? Because bar 7 low, you had sell stop orders activated and they're selling. So those people want to make, money. And so I'm expecting a little bit more drift to the downside. Bulls want a micro double bottom, and 8 and 9, they might be seeing that as micro double bottom, but let's just wait how this bar closes. Some machines are already buying underneath low of yesterday, and if these bears don't want to sell this low to get down to the measured move or here or there, they're going to look for some kind of pullback at least. So you have 2 bars, okay, 2 bear bars, 7 and 8, and the sellers are probably, were waiting above 8, limit order sellers. So they kind of, as soon as this bar went up, they might have sold already. So now the body came down, But look at the bar 9 now. So if I sold below bar 7, I'm disappointed, okay? Because it's trying to become an outside up bar. And it's actually an outside up bar. Its low went below 8, and its high went below bar 8. This isn't something that the bears want to see. They want to see continuation. So could this be a false, okay, bullish move to the upside? Sure, okay, because in order to come down to these levels, market makers needs to trap some traders, either getting out of their shorts, okay, or buying this bar, making it look like this is a full reversal. It's going to the breakout test area. Then when those people convert to become bullish, what they do is they sell and they get another leg down. So this bar might get a leg down, okay? Then those people will be disappointed because their stops are going to be probably down here. Then they're going to jump in now to become bearish again, and that could create a quick move to these levels. So I see bar 8 as continuation, and if this is too low, and we gap down, we're below the yesterday's low slightly, okay? So that means bears are not willing to sell this, okay, sell at the closes. They want a pullback. But this right here, the 6 bar sideways at the open, makes it very difficult, especially bar 1 being so big of a bull bar, makes it very difficult for today to be or continue to sell really strong. So I think we're going to end up, maybe testing these areas and then start to go back up again. So I'm going to look for a wedge formation before I buy anything because this is still bearish. 2-to-1 is still target. I'm going to scalp that. I'm 1 tick above the 2-to-1. I got it. So I just scalped. And now bears still need to close a bear bar below 44.25 to continue down to my measured move, which is a small structural breakout by bears, 39.75. Yep, Asia just broke down. If you actually measure the Asia, that's 1-to-1. Okay, right there. That was the 1-to-1, and they broke down. So now they just got the 2-to-1. Yep. That's what those lines are for. All right, so can we still reverse here? We've got a nice 2-to-1 full target met. I still have my measured move, so I'm still expecting my runner to test that 39.75. My stop is now moved, is right there above bar 9. The magnet is right there, so we could even overshoot the 39.75. I might test the magnet, but I'm going to scalp 39.75 regardless. Because look at the hourly chart. We're very close to that EMA. And another target, see from here, okay, I don't want to count from here because this isn't really bullish, so I'm going to count from there. So I'm looking for a 40 point. So we could not only actually test the 3-to-1 and breach below it before we actually reverse. So my 40-point trend for bears target sitting exactly where the 1-hour EMA sits. So that tells me we're not only going to hit my target 39.75, we're going to continue to drift into the 3-to-1 target. 3-to-1 risk reward 34.75. But first things first, come on, I want to scalp this 39.75. Bar 9 should not have spooked you. I explained why, Martin. But that's okay, I understand. But you got to get some nerves, okay? Look at the bar 7. I mean, that right there is going to get a leg or two down, okay? So go back to the BTC teachings, the course, and I think it's the first chapter, L talks about the trend lines, trend bars, and what to expect from them, right? So he expects at least a one leg down. Okay, so we're getting that leg. I don't know if you're in the trade room or hearing me, but hopefully you do. So that's how you get your emotions in control. And I explained why bears would be inclined to sell the pullback. Two reasons. They need to trap traders to create frenzy, okay, and panic. And they did. It scared you because at one point that bar 9 was a big bull bar. But I kept you guys in your short. I said, don't be spooked. This is, I think what's happening here is that it's just too low to sell. So bears are looking for a pullback. And in the meantime, they're going to start to panic some traders to create bigger bars to the downside. So what is considered Asia market hours? Still starving. Well, let's feed you with some information. Asia is, for me, it starts at 7 p.m. Eastern time and goes all the way to midnight. So that's the level I take. All right, here comes my target. So you may want to pay yourself there, not because I'm going to scalp it, but it's just that bulls may want to keep this gap open to the EMA, 1 hour EMA, but I think we're going to reach there because bears want their big meal, which is the 40 point. So if we do pull back, there might be sellers, limit order sellers at the high of bar 10, 45.25, maybe 46.25 area. See if they're going to sell there because I think these bears want to chase it down to that 40 point. Okay, some sell orders, limit orders are activated at 45.25. I don't know if we're going to go to 46.25, but they're already selling. ATR is 882, so 875. It might sell about 8 points down. I mean, we might end up going down to 37.32, okay? So if the sellers do show up here, limit order sellers with a pullback, let's see. I'm going to wait for this bar to close. If you do sell right now, you have potential of making about 8 points, okay? So some machines front ran that measured move target about a tick or so. I don't know, 39.75, 40.25. All right, so they actually 2-tick front run, and they took profit. Now, they're trying to get an outside up bar and a micro double bottom, but again, it's 1 pullback, 2, maybe pullback 3. I don't know if this is a good wedge here. All right, so we now actually breached 47.25. We even went to 48.75 or 49. Yep, so it kind of overshot where I thought the sellers were there. Remember I taught you guys this right there. Sellers are there because bar 10 is a breakout bar. So pullback is a little bit, early sellers showed up there, but because ATR is almost 10, it's kind of overshooting and looking for sellers more above higher. So ATR is now 9.5. Let's see if we can get 8-9 points out of this. I still think that we might end up coming down to 37, 33, or 32 area. So I'm going to stay in this short. 40 point is there. Magnet is there. 3-to-1 target, 34.75 is there. No, stop sits above bar 9 high. No, I would not. No. I would not, because bar 10 does not show me a lower high. Would you take that as a lower high? Would you take this as a lower high? That's the lower high. This is not lower high. But now you have a lower high. Okay, we made a new high, but it's lower. So if this bar closes 1 tick below bar 10, then you can take that stop above from bar 9 and put it above 11. Sorry, I answered it late. I just turned my head and looked at the other monitor. If you're trading oil, it's the OPEC meeting, so that's very violent news because they can't make any decisions in those meetings. There used to be OPEC plus and plus minus. Do you guys remember those? They finally got rid of that plus. Now I would move that stop above 11. And yeah. Come on, bears, you can do it. Don't give up on me now. We can continue to come down to actually not only 34.75, also 33.70, 33. Actually, I'm wrong. 32.75, and then furthermore 31.75. So this can still shoot all the way down to 31.75. This can still shoot all the way down to 31.75. I'm still selling. I'm still in my short, but I have single contract running, or it's trying to run. It's not doing a good job running, but we'll see. So I think that wedge bottom is what we're looking for here. And I'm thinking somewhere around between, let me see, like around 11 and 11:30, we might get that reversal. Or can we get that reversal now? I doubt it. I think we're just going to go down a little bit more. I mean, I like to because it's getting closer to my stop now. I really don't want that stop to be hit. Okay, so the target is fully met now, 39.75, and those bears are taking profit. So I'm going to remove this now. I have a bigger measured move target here at a 40 point, and from that 40 point, that's actually not even an additional 10. So we might end up actually coming down to that measured move target. Okay, so let's see what the bears can do here. They're still selling and they're still trying to make 8 point. They haven't made that yet. All they made was maybe 5 points maybe. No, actually they did make 8 points, sorry. I think. Let me count. Nope, they made about 6.5, so there's still room for them to run this down. So I'm still short, but it's getting, okay. So let's see if we can chase this furthermore down. This bar needs to close bearish or very weak bullish in about 2 seconds. That's it. Good job. Keep going. So now, where can they chase this? They can chase this down to 33.25, 33.25, 33, 37.33 area. Is this a wedge though? Let's see. Now, I'd like to start the count here because this is such a big breakout. So here's first pullback, second pullback. We're still in the third leg. So some machines might be already seeing the third leg done, and they're trying to take profit and put a outside up bar. I'm not going to fall into this trap. If I take profit right now, I'd still be making very good money, but I'm not going to scare it out of my position here when there's a 40-point big ticket item sitting there like a duck and screaming that this is where the price is going to go. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to be patient. I mean, I can already see it. It's there, right? So if you're having a hard time counting the legs, count the pullbacks, right? So we're in the final leg, I think. It just needs to reach out and grab it. Either 33 or just 3 to 1. I mean, we might just test 3 to 1 and not go to 32.75, like I said. Or we might just come down and test the 33.75 because this is going to overshoot. ATR is still 8 points. But if you want to hold all the way down to 31.75, be my guest, because I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold this, see if I can get and test 31.75. All right, so now he's cracking wife jokes. And the wife is probably somewhere else not seeing this. Generally, wife jokes are cracked when the wives are not around. You guys are funny. All right, I'm still making money. In fact, I mean, this is great. I love it. I'm not even going to tell you how much money I'm making, but it's really good. I'm very excited about this. So I'm sticking to my guns, right? So now, if you were, so to the person who was scared and exit out with bar 9, look at bar 10. Okay, bar 10 is telling you we're breaking out again. Now you have a great place to put your stop. Why don't you just sell the close or sell one tick under and go for a 2 points and see if you get a runner, okay, into the magnet. So now we got the 3 to 1, okay. We just tagged 34. So my targets were 34.75, 33.75, 32.75, goes all the way to 31.75. This is a spike pullback channel, which is a form of a bear flag. So we will eventually go and test this bar either at the low, mid, or high. So bar 9 is going to be a magnet for bulls when we're reversing. I will be scalping there if I buy. But right now, I want to get paid. So I want to see 31.75 tested, or 32.75 if you want to get out early. Limit order sellers are probably at 37, 38.75 or whatever this breakout is, 39.50. So if we do pull back, there are probably sellers waiting to sell with limit order at the high right there. Okay. So I think we're going to continue down, tad a little bit more into my targets. All right, we're testing the pullback a little bit. So let's see if the sellers, limit order sellers, are there. Underneath 12, most likely. Bar 12, whether you are on micro or E-mini. So I like to see, since ATR is 7, we could end up coming down to that 31.75. So I'm going to stick to my guns here. I'm going to wait for that 31.75. Unless we close a really strong bull bar, then I'm going to hit close and be done with it. Because they see this as a third leg. Leg 1, pull back. Leg 2, pull back. And leg 3. And we now have an inside bar. Okay, so, but we just left that moving out average behind. Although some might argue that we actually tested it. So bulls need some kind of micro double bottom before buying. Now they're getting their first initial signal, which is an inside bull bar. So is this good enough? I don't know. We might get another test down. Limit order buyers might be there before we go back up. Remember that barbed wire that I showed you guys? Sorry. Like we now down. We just made the higher low. We might come down and test again before going back up. So, yeah. I'm going to wait here a little bit more. Well, I don't like the way this bar is going for sure. Still waiting for it to close. Because I think if people are stuck with bar 13, okay, they're going to want to sell up here. There's a small trading range there. They might sell to get back down here to make the money that they're losing, okay? So we came so close to my target. So if you want to actually exit out and you're spooked, that's fine. We already met that target. We kind of failed that EMA, but we have touched the EMA on the 1 hour chart. So that was the second. Unfortunately, we did not meet 33.75 and 32.75 and 31.75. So this could be just a pullback before selling again into the 31.75 or 31.50, maybe even further down, just a little bit. So those bears stuck here, they're probably going to sell here to make that money. And if we come down here, I'm going to look to see if limit order buyers are going to start to buy. But I think the bears are going to try this one more time because bulls need some kind of double bottom. Now, you see this bar is not coming down and testing the prior bar's low. But it is a good bar. It's trying to close bullish, okay? Bulls started to buy right here. They went one tick above that bar 8. Now, some machines will count that as possibly high 2, okay? So the problem is that it didn't go one tick above, but it closed really strong. So there might be some buy stop orders above 14, okay? But there are also probably sellers here. So it's a bit difficult because it's a sideways market here now with a couple of bars. I think these bears stuck here, they're going to want to try to test down a little bit, at least halfway, okay? Like the midpoint of 14 to break even if they're still in their shorts. Or get a better price to exit out rather than exiting up here. Maybe they want to exit down here or down here. So I would assume we're going to come down. They might have gotten out already. So I think the bears just got out. I don't know. I kind of did because I didn't like this bar 14. So I sold a little bit more right there. And I think I got filled right around the close of 14. And then, just got out. I didn't like the way the bar 14 closed so strong because some machines do see that as a second entry long. And they probably already parked the buy stop orders. So let's see. Yep, so those orders are activated. Some bulls are looking for 2-point and a 5-point above bar 14. So this is done now. I'm no longer interested. So here's a 2-point. They're trying to get a 5-point scalp right there. One tick above bar 14. So when I see this, I'm out. I'm done. I will never let my stop hit above bar 11. And then I actually ended up selling a little bit more here, and I took advantage of that pullback to the 50% of this bar's, okay, mid-level. You see, I explained why these bears might sell again at these highs and then break even there, and they just did that. So I got out, and here's what I did. I immediately enter long. Like I said, there are probably buy stop orders above bar 14, and I'm going to exploit that now. So I already scalped 3 points. I want to see this 5-point mark hit where I just marked. See if they can do it. They didn't get a full 5-point there. I like to see a 5-point hit, but let's see. If this bar closes low like that, I'm going to exit out. I don't care about the runner because my runner is not running at this point. So this is early bulls might be jumping in, or these bears are taking profit because they see a spike pullback and a channel down with 3 push down wedge. So once they see bar 14, they're done. Now, when will the bulls will come in? If this bar strongly closed bullish up here, now those bulls are waiting to jump in the market, might be looking at, okay, 2 bull bars, both closing on their highs, let's buy. But if you're buying, you might be also risking a double top there or double top here. Remember, this is spike pullback channel. I said we're going to test the bar 8 low, bar 8 mid, or bar 8 high. So we already tested the bar 8 low with a pullback. Bar 8 midpoint is a little bit higher than the 5-point mark, scalp mark, right there. See if this leg can get a second leg up to those wick highs like bar 11 high or bar 9 high. Now, can the bears actually sell this? Well, yes. Spike pullback and channel is a bear flag, okay? So they already tested the low, right? And they might go again before selling. So this is an initial buy. Market, the actual buyers may not be excited about this because they know if this is a bear flag, chances are somewhere around the range of bar 9, sellers could be waiting. So it's difficult, okay, assuming that we're going to reverse now or start some kind of small pullback bull trend. I'm going to clean this chart up a little bit. These targets met. So it's, I'm still in my runner. I want that 5-point. Because it's reversing and the buyers are buying, that's the way that L. Brooks measures. Because you have a wedge here, and basically anyone who enters with a second entry long is looking for about a 5-point scalp minimum. There's no well, yes, bar 14 is an inside bar. No, wait. Is it? Yes. Yes on the E-mini, no on the micro. All right, so we did not make the 5 points, and if this bar closes bearish, I'm out, but I think we're going to get it. It's just there. Bar 14 and 15 are really nice bull bars, and we're getting momentum now. So if the 16 closes like bullish like that, that becomes buy to close. See, buy to close? So if we get 3 bull bars, bulls can buy the pullback again and go for the EMA test. But this area is problematic, okay, because of this bar 9. Sellers want to sell again and come back and make a bigger wedge, 1, 2, and possibly 3, okay, and then maybe small pullback bull trend, finally reverse. So this measured move target, it's still the target for bears. But because the 14 and 15 are strong bull closes, I like to see a second leg up at least, even if it's a small leg. I like to see bulls to print that leg before coming down. So I think that 50% of bar 9 is still doable for the second leg up. Or they're selling right now, I don't know. I don't like the way this bar is. 30 more seconds, come on. Let's see what happens. Bears are looking for, they were looking for some kind of double top with bar 11 high, like I said. But I think we need that second leg up for bulls, even if it's a small one. So it just came down to my break even for the last contract. Not happy about it at all. So bears are still in charge. You can tell they are. So I'm out. I hit close. I took a loss with that last contract, and that's all right. It's not a big deal considering how much I made earlier. So if I get a strong bull close, I'll buy that. Okay, but right now I'm out. Now that I'm out, it lifts up because I think many other traders just exited out. That's why the bar just bounced up. So now bears want to continue to sell this into those targets that I talked about. Can they still come down to 31.75 and beyond to the measured move target? Sure, they can. If machines want to see a bigger wedge with a possible overshoot. But they're going to have to show me that they can take out the prior low with bar 13 low. You can see bar 14 and 15, you can see some accumulation started, and those are very good bull bars. So even though we might come down, we're looking for maybe a double bottom, triple bottom to finally to turn around. So those who actually sold are trying to scalp because bar 16 is an inside bar, right? They're trying to scalp at 37, 36.75. That's 1-to-1 now. 36.75. So that the bulls couldn't get that 5 point, but they still got a good scalp, which I did too. But then my runner kind of took some of that away because it didn't run. Now bears are trying to sell again. So bears tried once, bears are trying for twice. Now how can the bulls turn this around? If they do close a big bull bar, a strong bull bar, that's it. Maybe you could say first entry, second entry. But I think they take this as the first entry and the second entry, and we might get a third entry. So there's a battle going on here now. And we already have trading range. This is a trading range right here. Look at the trading range on the 15-minute chart. Now, it could be also a bank zone, meaning this is where they trap the bulls only to sell further down. Okay, so be careful there. Bulls still need a second leg up, and they need to get that. So now, if they fail to close a bear bar below bar 16, then you can say, then bulls come in, and this would be your target, 53.25. So if the bears fail, okay, here with a bear bar close underneath the inside bar, then they're going to try to get that second leg up. First test the high, and then go test around the high of bar 9, like I said that they might try. Okay, so 50% right there. That's the half risk reward. Okay, 1-to-1 is right there. Let's see what they can do here. They're still trying to put a second leg up. We might need a wedge. Maybe down, up, before coming back down again. So if bulls breach that bar, what is it, 17 low, then it's game over for bulls. Because I don't see a bull bar, like strong bull bar. Bar 17 is not that strong. But let's just wait. As long as this pullback fails, okay, and the bears cannot close a bar below bar 14, bulls might come in, but this is, I think, too bearish. It's still bearish. The only thing that I would expect for bulls at this point, some kind of higher low, double bottom, because we have some kind of a wedge or truncated wedge, okay, that they're looking for. And as long as this low or that low is not breached with a bear bar, bulls still have a chance. But once they close a bear bar at these lows, then they're done, because we're going to come down here very quickly. So this might go two ways. I didn't buy it. Why I didn't buy above? I didn't lower buy order above bar 17 because it's not a good bar. And now we made a new low. We went below bar 17. So I want to see a good bull bar, I said, if I wanted to buy. So I didn't. Bears are still in charge. They're still selling this spike pullback channel, pullback bar 9. And I said for bulls to show up, I think it might be around 11:30, right? So it's not even 11 yet. So there's still half hour for them to sell this into these lows and finish that measured move, or make a double bottom right here at the 1 hour EMA and then finally go up. So I'm done with those targets. So I think the bears reached their target. But to me, this was not tradable. I didn't see a bear close. I didn't care to sell. So I didn't buy, I didn't sell, but they got their 1.1 to 1. Now, if they do close a bear bar at the low of 14 or 13, they're going to go for the 2-to-1 risk reward, which is 31.25. So we're getting closer to that 31.75, my original target. And market is not ready to start a small pullback bull trend or reverse with a major trend reversal. So it's still working its way down. We're still not in the reversal hour. This is the 18 bar range. This is bar 18. Let's see if we can get bar 19 actually strong bear close and we get a breakout to the downside. But first they need to close bar 18 on its low. So that means we need a bar closing below 36.75. And then we could end up coming down to 31.25. Down to 31.25. $31.75, $31.50, $31.25. These are all targets. Bulls are trying to get that double bottom, but you have now inside, outside, inside breakout mode. Bar 17 inside, bar 18 outside, and bar 19 is inside. Can they get that double bottom? Well, if they do close that bar now, strongly bullish, that may be their ticket. And we could quickly go back up to 37.49. Let's see if they can make it. It's going sideways. It's very difficult. But we're getting into that time now for reversal. We already got in. It starts with bar 16. So if we cannot get a continuation breakout bear bar after bar 18, we might reverse here. Well, let's just wait for bar 19 to close. Looks like double bottom, higher low. But bulls need a strong close here. Bulls need a strong close here. But it's also limit order market. So as it gets closer to the high of this trading range, sellers are going to be waiting there to prevent a bull breakout. But you now have a double bottom, okay, and a higher low. good bar. So bulls are trying to get to that double top, 15-16. They're trying to reverse now. Let's see how far they can go. I'll tell you where they can go. They're going to try to test 49.50. If they can close this bar strongly bullish, 49.50 seems like a good place. So I am going to scalp there at 49.25. See if I can get that. And for micros, they might actually go up to 49.75 or 50 if they can surge here a little bit more. So there's not much of a difference, just a one tick slippage. I'm going to exit out at 49.50. I'm going to scalp and see if I can enter again, because I don't know if we're ready to reverse, but it's looking like wedge and a double bottom higher low trend reversal. So if we start to get really strong bull bars, that means we have a reversal and possibly small pullback bull trend. So let's just see if bulls can close this bar around 47.50 or one tick above. 49.50, they're going to try to tag. All right, they couldn't close the bar where I want them to close, but that's fine. It's still a very strong bull close, except it's a limit order market. And I said that there are probably sellers waiting up here, and they're going to sell anytime they see a bear bar. Okay, so let me see if I can show you guys some kind of example here that explains. Hang on. Okay. So I think this is the one. Yeah. So they couldn't get there. That's mess. So there's no breakout. So I'm bummed because I really wanted bulls to get up there, but it's a limit order market. It's just they're gonna keep selling at the highs anytime they see a bull bar like 19. Now, if that bull bar were to close right up there at the high of 15, then we would have gone to my target. So I'm bummed here because I really wanted to go long. It just didn't do. So it's still in a limit order market until it morphs into a stop order. I'm going to wait a little bit. I just want to show you guys a chart here. Hang on. All right. So, for example, so limit order market, right? Tight trading range. See how there's this trading range here. You see that big bar? That's the top of the trading range. You see that wick and another wick and another wick. So price gets there. Before it gets there, just put a limit order sell. Okay? You're going to make money. Even here, there's a small, tiny little range there. That's the high of the range. Even that. So when the market gets back up here, sells again. Similar. See this trading range right there? That's the top of the trading range. Give or take. So if you put a sell order here, there, you're going to get filled and you're going to be able to sell. It's the same thing happening here. So machines sold at close because they wanted to prevent going up. So can this still come down? Looks like they are trying. So I guess we're not ready yet. We're not ready to reverse anything. What time is it now? So it's only 11:08, but we're in that time, 11:30. Market is not that bearish. Yes, we have a bear gap here. The bears are trying to maintain it. But look at the bar one and look at that first 6 bars. Okay. So to me, this is not that bearish. And in fact, if we go up, I said earlier that the apex of that triangle is basically a target. But if bears are not done here yet, I mean, there's nothing I could do. And I said this could be a bank zone. So if we cannot get bulls, you know, go up, we could end up coming all the way down here before going back up, because we need 1, 2, 3 wedge or 1, 2, 3 wedge. So I'm going to treat this as a trading range. I still want to go long because I don't think this is a strong bear market. I'm just going to wait for consecutive bull bars at least. That's what I'm going to wait for. But we are in that time still. We could still reverse. So let's see where this bar closes. Okay, so we have 2 outside. You guys see it? Let me see. I don't want to mislead you. Okay, so bar 18 is outside, although this is not outside. Sorry, that is not outside. So forget what I said that. I didn't notice that bar 19 low is not lower. But now we have inside, we have an outside, we have an inside, and another inside. So it's a breakout mode. So can the bulls still take this to higher, say 49.50, 52.50? I don't know. They have to start closing bull bars. Otherwise, I'm not interested buying. It's another triangle. If they do close this bar down here, they're going to try to break out from the downside. Bar 21 is trying to close bearish, but there's a trading range here. So if they close a strong bear bar somewhere down here, buyers are waiting to buy that. Just like they sold a strong bull bar at the high of a trading range. So that's what that slide I was showing you guys. So what is it that we're looking for? So basically you have, it almost looks like a trending trading range. You have a trading range and you have another trading range. Can we get another trading range? So it's stepping down. It's possible. So that means our bears are actually trying to get to that measured move down. Sure. Then we have maybe a longer wick. Longer overshoot of a third leg down for bears, possible. Or we're going to break out from that and we're going to go right back up. So market is deciding here. So basically this is like a trending trading range in a way. It's just sloping down. Okay, so bulls failed, now bears are failing. Okay, bears tried once, bears tried twice, but bar 21 hasn't closed. If bar 21 now closes on the side, now bulls might get another chance here. This would be 10 bars and 2 legs to the EMA. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We might get 2 more bars and actually test the EMA. So let's see if we can actually get to that 49.50 target this time around. Actually, that has now changed because we have a new outside bar, which is bar 19. So I'm going to see if we get a much bigger target here for bulls. Yep, 49.50 for micros, 49.25 for E-mini if you're bullish still. So the first target is 49.25, first target for bulls, and 37.53 is the second target for bulls, but they need a bull close above bar 19. So 10 bars, 2 legs. I think the bulls are trying to get to the EMA. We're so close to it. Same as micro, actually. 49.25 seems like the target for bulls. If suddenly this bar ends up closing very bearish, then your bear target, your first shallow bear target is 34.50 and 34.75 for micros. But I think we're just going to go reach that bull target because bears kind of failed again. And this bar 19 is a very nice close, okay? Bears failed here, they failed here, they're failing again. So it's a pullback. So I think we're just going to go up. We might get a double top with these highs. So watch out. So if you go long, you still need to pay yourself. Somewhere there. Is bulls fail here? Sure. We still don't have a bull close above that outside bar's high, just like it happened here. We failed. Now, are we failing? I don't know. Let's just wait. These bull bars are closing really nice, but this is not a small pullback bull trend because we don't have multiple consecutive bull bars other than 14 and 15. It's just alternating right now because it's just 10 bars and 2 legs to the EMA. All right, so 49.25 is still the target. They're going to immediately, possibly they're going to scalp there, but it's potential to go up to 53, 37.53 area if we get a bull bar. I would want to sell at the EMA, or I would wait for, strong bear bars, and I would then see, okay, bears are maintaining the gap to the EMA. But look, we have been gapping down since like 22 bars already. So we need to test the EMA. So if you want the sell, your best bet is to sell at the EMA. So we're still making that 10 bars and 2 legs, okay? So they're probably sellers at the EMA. It's a 20-bar gap since open. So we might make that third, okay, trading range down before we actually reverse back up, finally rotate back up. So there might be a double top situation here, okay? And if we get a bear bar closing on its low, they can sell. So, but first things first, bulls are trying to get that 10 bars and 2 legs. So I still think the 49.25 is where they're gonna tag. So let's see. I'm sitting there. I want to scalp there. You can scalp as early as 49, but bulls can also take this up to the 53 area. Bears are trying to maintain the gap to the EMA, but I think it's just too late. We should tag that EMA. There it is. I'm about to scalp. I say that and it just comes down at 48.75. Potential to go up to 53. And then you would look for a double top with bar 9 high, or you see this gap right here, sellers are waiting. Okay, I just scalped and I have, let's see, I have a runner to test the 53, see if I can get that too. So that's 1-to-1. We have not even met 1-to-1 target yet. Inside bar 20 and outside up bar 21. Tested its low, trapped the bears, closed the bull bar above its high. So now 1-to-1 is target, and possibly even we could even get to the 2-to-1. But I think this is a 20-bar gap, so there might be early sellers automatically wanting to sell the EMA. So be careful here. I have a runner here, but if they fail to close a bull bar above 49.25, I'm going to hit close very quickly, and I'm not going to bother with 37.53. Then I'll enter again with a nice bull bar closing above EMA when I see always in long, situation sets up, the condition set up. So right now I'm all about scalping. There it is. Okay, my runner is going to the 53, 37.53. It's almost there. All right, great bar. I like that bar a lot. So 1-to-1 is target. 53 is doable. It might even overshoot 53 to the 55. We might even test 55, 37.55. But I think I'm just going to scalp the, okay, so you see how we have not even met one-to-one? And as we get so closer to the EMA, sellers already underneath the EMA. They're trying to prevent so that market can keep that gap open. I hate when that happens. That happened yesterday. But I think it's too premature. Now, another reason why this is happening, because we're getting closer to these highs also, but it's also, this is the first breakout, okay, bull breakout. So we get a pullback before we go up again. So that's the breakout pullback. We have already a bar closed above 49.25, so I'm nothing to worry about it. I think we're going to get the 53, and even overshoot 55 is doable. So I'm going to leave my runner here alone, not going to hit close. I'm not happy the way this bar is forming, but it's expected because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You have 15 bars, okay, and just about 14, 15 bars sideways, and it's the first breakout from a major, high right here, trading range high. So it's normal for that to pull back and scare you. Just wait at least how it closes. It may not close bearish. So there's still 2.5 minutes, this bar to close. A lot can change in 2.5 minutes, that this bar can actually finally close very bullish and give me my target. If I exit right now, I'd be leaving money on the table. But bears want a bear flag, so they want a wedge. So maybe 1, pull back 2, pull back 3. So they're still looking for some kind of a wedge top and sell at the EMA. So it's possible that we could get that double top here and then try to sell again into here. Is it right now? Well, they're going to have to close a really strong bear bar, maybe down here. Then I would say, yeah, that's it. They kept the EMA gap open, so the bears are still in charge. Then I would be probably forced to buy at these lows to get a break even for my runner, so I don't have to take loss. But I'm just not worried right now. This is still just a pullback from the breakout point. And where's that? Right here. So we didn't even breach that 47 yet. So I'm still not panicking. I'm sorry. What did I say? 53, 37, 53. I will scalp. There it is. There it is. 53. Come to mama. Almost there. Come on now. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, I waited so long for this. 53. 53. It can overshoot the 55, but I'm going to scalp the 53. Now, it may not overshoot because ATR came down to 5.5, so it's not that violent anymore. It's just the average ATR. It used to be 3 average, and a 5 used to be actually good high ATR, but those days are over. We're a lot more volatile. So, come on, 53. Still waiting here. We can even shoot all the way up to 56, but I'm going to scalp the 53 like the boss that I am. Come on. Almost there. Don't give up here. Bears are trying to get that first sell at the EMA because I explained that's a 20+ bar gap, so by default sellers are waiting there. But We just also got the 1-to-1 target, so good for bulls. But I'd like to see a little bit of, continuation. Test these highs at least, right? So just overshoot that 53 a little bit and fill everybody right there. All the machines are waiting, maybe one tick below 53, one tick above 53, but they're all there. Here it comes. Here's my scalp. Yeah! I got me some money. All right, I'm good. My target is met. I am a happy camper. It actually tested one tick above, like I said. So hopefully you guys took some money off the table there. Now, can we continue up? Yes, 37.55 is next. But at this point, I'm flat. I mean, I went out. I just exited out. I am totally flat here. But it's possible that we might actually end up going to 56. I just don't want to risk it. Now, beautiful bars. Look at them, okay? Closing on their highs, and there's a small gap here, so the bulls are kind of gained momentum here. They need to close a bull bar above 1-to-1 target, which is 37.52. If they cannot do that, and this is the reason why I exited out, because this is a 20-bar gap to EMA. Sellers want to sell, and there's also a wedge, possible wedge. Now, we might actually literally pull back to that breakout point, okay? I just didn't want to risk that, and that's why I, just went flat. Well, it took me a while to build this patience, but it's because I've learned that trend bars are important, and then consecutive bull closes with really strong bull bars important. I said 14 and 15, basically, market is putting a stake in the ground and telling you, listen, at the open, we kind of put a kibosh, okay, on being extremely bearish. Yes, you got a really nice bar, you got your, first measured move target, but then where's the breakout from that? Okay, where's the strong breakout? There is none. Then you get the 14 and 15. I said, that's it. We're going to rotate. We're going to rotate, and we're going to get 10 bars and 2 legs to the EMA, or a wedge set up to the EMA. I'm going to buy a strong bull bar. And if I get another one after a bear close, I'm going to buy that too. So I started to accumulate, okay? And then I scalped and left a runner, and that was it. Now I'm going to show you guys one more thing. How did I find that 53? Well, I've been showing you guys this for a long time. So if you paid any attention, where is the last outside bar? The biggest one. That one, right? So if you actually measure, right there, look at that. Look at that. Now, let me put the lines there so you could actually see that I wasn't lying. 53. And we're above the midpoint of that, so we're bullish. We finally closed above. I scalped here once, 49.25, and then my second one right there. Now, if we do close above the 53, then we can get up to the measured move target, okay, because there is a slight gap there. So I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, it's like gap in a way. So measured move target is here, but bulls need to close another bull bar. But at this point, it's still kind of bearish. Bears are looking for a bear flag. Now, can the bear flag fail and we could go up to that gap measure move target? Sure, we could. You just need to see bull bars closing. We still don't have always in long set up. As you can see, bar 23 closed right at the EMA, actually one tick below the EMA. So we don't have one single bar since the open closing above the EMA. So you need to get that first, okay? Then you can say, well, listen, you know, forget about that gap. I'm just going to take the full, you know, measured move targets. Okay, 37.6150 is a, you know, target, but wait for that bull close, because what we can do also go up here, make another double top, and then start to sell again. You do not want that. So sit tight, be patient. There's enough room here to make money, even if you wait for 2 bars closing above EMA, okay? Because what can happen now, this can actually turn into a messy small pullback bull trend. Small pullbacks could be 2 bars, okay? So what happens here is that what you need to look for that kind of move, you need to look that bulls are maintaining slight gaps, and then they would be buying at the prior highs, or prior highs with the stop orders at low of bear bars, pullback bars with the limit orders, or that first 2 bull bars or 3 bull bars, that bull bar is low, their limit order buyers waiting. So let's see if the limit order buyers are actually going to enter here. They kind of started to enter below the 24 low. You could see the 25 went 1 tick below. See that? Let me get this out of the way. See how the 25 went below? So does this mean small pullback bull trend? Well, the bulls need to close that bar bullish or extremely weak bearish, okay, in order for me to think, okay, so this is a small pullback bull trend because the bulls are maintaining that gap. I don't see it yet. So, but there's a gap there. I'm just waiting for 25 to close. I mean, I'm trying to give you guys as much detail as I can because I want you guys to see what I'm seeing. I know I say a lot of things and I work both sides, bears and the bulls, but that's how I found confidence myself, you know. I work it out, basically, you know. My number one goal is not to open a trade. So in trading, your number one goal is not to open a trade and not to risk your money. Believe it or not. Some people probably laughing at me when I say that. I can hear you. But that's what it is. Now, how do you do that? When you exhaust all of your options that why you shouldn't be opening a trade, then you open a trade. Because that's when you're going to win. If you just haphazardly, oh, bull bar, I'm just going to buy it. Sure, you're buying at the high of a trading range. It might come down. As this comes down, you're panicking because bar 22, 1 point, was a one big bear bar. Okay, coming down here, you're wondering what the heck did I just do there? Why did I buy it so, you know, early? But if you waited a little bit for the breakout, structural breakout, because obviously bears are failing here, so there's no reason for me to go short up until the EMA. So bulls might try again, so I can look for a pullback and buy that, and I could still make money. Because you know how L says, you know, you can bleed out, you know, 1,000 little cuts can bleed you out and you die. I mean, it's terrible. Every time I say this, like, I see myself dying on the floor with tiny little cuts. But what he's trying to say to you, if you buy in the wrong place and it goes against you, you're most likely to hit close and take a loss, only it turns around, goes back up. And then you buy, and by the time those guys are about to take profit because they bought down here, and then they're exiting out, you just entered long, and now it's going against you again. You hit close again, so now you're cut again. So those are the kind of things that you do not want. Okay, so the bulls are trying to close a bull bar above the 53 to get to 1-to-1 target 57. I said we're probably going to test 55. We just came 1 tick closer, 49.75. Okay, we just tested 55, so now they're trying to test in 57. Why? Because it's the measured move, not that measured move, but here, I'm going to measure again. So that was the outside up bar. We broke out. This is where we're going, I said, if we get to break above this. So that's where they're trying to reach. but you don't need to use this kind of measurement. Just look for a measured move target. There's a structure here. Bears try to sell, failed. Bulls try to buy, failed. In fact, they failed twice. So measured move is going to happen. It's inevitable. So it's going to happen. And you just have to wait for the signals and the triggers. Bar 22 triggered that. Beautiful bull bar, beautiful body, breaking way above the structural high, double top. So you can count this as cup, small handle, double top, and you might even get a much bigger measured move target here. Look at that. See? Either that or I'm going to take that. So I might get a continuation to 37.7250, but first 61.50. Or if you don't want to do any of these, okay, so first of all, I'm going to get rid of this. I no longer care for this bear because they kind of lost. Okay, so 61.50 is target. Or if there's an outside bar and there's an inside bar, 19 and 20, and we have a bull bar closed, measure that inside bar 1-to-1. That's 1-to-1 target, 2-to-1 target. We just met. We're going to 2.5 possibly. Bulls are trying to get to the 3-to-1. But first, as you tag these 2-to-1, 3-to-1, whatever, you need to take profit. So what's going on with that bar side? Well, they're taking profit because some machines will calculate this. How do I know this? I've been doing it so long, I kind of know exactly which machines do what. I mean, I don't know them personally, but, you know, I kind of figured it out. So, and I look at everything. If I'm still long, you best believe I'm going to take profit at 58.25. I don't care what happens if it goes above it. I don't care. I said we were going to test 57. We did. And here's your 2-to-1. We did. So I have to take profit. So I don't have to scramble above this 2-to-1 like they did. Plus, it's a trading range. So we're testing open of the day. So, yeah. You needed to take profit there. So now, yep, so Napster is correct. So it looks like bears are failing, okay, to reverse this. They couldn't get the double top, and they kind of got their double top opportunity, but they completely blew it, okay? So now we have a bull bar. If this bar closes bullish, especially one tick above open of the day, that means count begins again, and you look for a new, okay, wedge. However, who's going to tell me where is the biggest trend bar since the open in this 26 bar range? Which bar is the biggest trend bar? It looks so climactic that it actually got 3 legs down. Bar 7. So if you actually go back to the climax bars, okay, lesson, you will hear L say, when we're reversing, 50% of that bar or the high or the open of that bar is magnet. So where are we now? At the 50%. That's another reason to take profit. Now, can we actually get a reversal bar? Yes, bears probably want to sell this. This could be very well an overshoot. Okay? So if you haven't taken profit, maybe now is the time to take profit. You can always enter again with a strong bull close. But remember, we don't have always in long set up yet. Bears are still trying to close a strong rejection bar, 2-bar rejection to sell this down because they failed. But if they cannot get bar 27 close on its low, and you see bar 27 actually close bullish, then that's your second bar actually opening above the EMA and closing above the EMA. That's always in long. So that means you can actually buy the pullback or buy 1 tick above, and that would be your target. Or, what did I say earlier? The apex of that triangle where we broke out is the target. Or, that is the first measured move target, 61.50. So I don't see a strong bear bar. I don't see any full reversal or 2-bar reversal for bears. But there's still 3 minutes and 4 seconds. So 6150 is right there. And bulls also got their 20 points, so they're kind of scalping right here at the 20-point zone, okay? And that's why we're pulling back down. But if this profit taking gets out of the way, we could still extend up to the 6150 and possibly to that apex. Oh, that triangle. Bulls are trying to reach Globex low. Actually, that's not Globex low. I never fixed it. Sorry about that. So that is the Globex low. So we are at the Globex low, okay? And but we need to close inside the Globex low. I'm gonna take a quick break, everyone. I really need to go for like a quick walk around the office, possibly in the hallway, because I've been sitting here since 8 a.m. So I'll be right back. Okay, so if this bar ends up closing down here, that's bad news for bulls. You really want 2 bars closing above the EMA. Okay, what if this is a bear bar closes above the EMA? Well, there's a potential pullback and buy again. Now, is that always in long? It's not the most strongest always in long case, but could be, because this bar is very strong. So it's just a pullback. So we are in a small pullback bull trend, okay? Again, we have kind of a negative gap here, and now we have another gap here. So selling is very difficult. You do not want to sell this, okay? You want to either buy below those bear bars, okay, or buy above the bull bars at the highs. Small pullback bull trends, you look for those either negative gaps. Negative gaps are basically wicks are overlapping. It looks like there's no gap there, but there is. But actual gaps, nothing's overlapping. Okay, so I'll be right back. Looks like nothing happened much since been done, but now we're getting 2 inside bars, bar 26 outside, and bears are trying to close that gap, but they need to close that body overlapping with bar 24 body. If they fail to do that, that's still a negative gap, and that means we're still bullish. So let's see if actually the pullback buyers will show up at the EMA. They're kind of showing up there, but bar hasn't closed yet, so there's 30 seconds. And Globex low rejecting, but we don't know. Right now it is, but can the bulls still show up here? I don't like the way the bar 28 closed, but do I want to sell this? Maybe sideways, another leg down, a quick leg down. But I don't know. If I see another bear bar closing below EMA, then always in long failed, then we become always in short again. So I don't have always in long, I don't have always in short. Bears exploited that situation because they didn't see a second bar, bull bar. Now, bears are trying to get their always in short. They got bar 28 closed below. They're trying to get the bar 29. I don't know. It's in between. I don't know if I want to do anything here. But if I were to do one thing, I would wait for this bar to close. And if it closes bearish, I would probably try to sell. But even then, that's difficult because you're selling into that congestion. There are probably buyers there. I don't know. Now the bears are trying to close this gap right there. I don't know. I think I'm going to stay flat because I did so well. I mean, this can still go up. It's got targets up there. As long as we don't close below 47.75 with bear bars, this is still a valid target. And remember, small pullback bull trends, they get 1 or 2 bear bars, and you're stuck inside this bar 26. So if you actually sold that, all you got was 1-to-1 target, okay? But if you actually sold the close, there's nothing there. So I did notice that, and I was going to say something. I said, well, if I just tell them to sell right now, all they get is like, I don't know, not even a 1 point. Is a 51.75 and 51. All you get is 3 ticks. So I didn't even open my mouth and didn't want to. But you'll know how to measure that 1-to-1, right? So this might be all bears could get. I don't know. So I'm going to wait to see where this bar, what is this bar? 29 is going to close. Because if the bears cannot close this bearish, there's no way I can sell it, right? That's why I choose to do nothing. So pullback buyers still show up. Now they need to close this bar bullish so they can continue to go up. So now what happened there? Look, is there an overlap? There's no body overlap. Look, gap technically did not close, so that's still a negative gap. Bar 28 is not really overlapping with the body of 24. So to me, this is slightly bullish. Now we get another bull bar close. It's not consecutive bull bars, but that still puts us into always and long. Slightly always and long. I'm going to be ending my session in 6 minutes. If there is a question, now is the time to ask. You can post it in Discord, BTC Discord, under trading room chat. I look for 4 bars, so the period is 4. Well, I talked about the swing entry early on, right? I said I'm looking for a wedge, and I'm looking for somewhere around 11:30, some kind of a reversal. And I said it'll probably be coming in the form of a small pullback bull trend. So I said I am going to be looking for bears trying twice, failing, and I'm looking for a big bull close. Bar 19 was the close. Bar 16, bears looked like they wanted to sell, but alternating bars and the bar 18 did not get a continuation. So therefore, 18 bar range reversal might be coming in. Once I saw the bar 19, a really strong bull bar, that's it. I said we might be in a small pullback bull trend. So I looked around 11:30 area. Right around 11:05, we got our trigger in a way. And then this is also wedge, higher low, double bottom, maybe major trend reversal. So Gulabek's low becomes magnets, and then maybe further inside. Then I looked for climactic bars, such as bar 7. So bar 7 midpoint basically is my target. Now for further channel up, the high, the open of that bar is my target. Okay, I answered that question. You mentioned Asia period for you is 7 Eastern, midnight Eastern. Do not include the first hour of the session. No, I don't. I don't. Because it's not Asia. Asia, I think, begins around 7 and gets busy around 8. Go over moving your stop one more time. Okay. So let me clean this up a little bit. Give me a second. Okay. Market opened with a really strong bull bar. But what did I say? Is if you want a bullish, okay, move, you want to see something like this. Okay, always in long at the open. We did not get it. So I said, if you do buy this bar, bulls are trying to get up to that level. The problem with that is that they're only going to get there if they do close a small bull bar. But we did not close a second bull bar. In fact, bar 2 closed bearish, and it's taken out just about 60% of bar 1. That means we're overlapping, so it's trading range at the open. So if it's trading range, now what does that mean? Well, there are probably buyers at the low, maybe underneath 2. You can buy, but this ended up coming down a little bit lower. And then there are probably sellers at the high of that or that. Okay, so you do the opposite of what you normally do when you're trading. If you see something bullish, you sell. If you see something bearish, you buy. Okay, so then I said, if this is a trading range, it really does look like a triangle to me. So triangle means we made lower highs and higher lows, and we squeeze. Okay, so you see we're squeezing here. That means we are going to break out of the squeeze soon. Since we are gapped down and the bulls are not able to maintain, I said we might get a double top. We kind of did get a double top, so that to me is considered double top, bar 2 and 4. And I'm now looking also at double bottom, bar 1 and 4. Okay, so I don't know where this is going to break out. I said, you know, I like to see maybe a double top at the EMA, or maybe a wedge at the EMA if I want to sell it. Or if I want to buy it, then I would look for a bear breakout and maybe a wedge or double bottom. So I'm waiting. Then bar 7 happened. I mean, I think they all hit sell at the same time. I don't know what they did, but this was huge bar. I said, this is great. This is a gift. Okay, so I'm going to measure my measured move target, and I'm going to sell it. I sold that bar. I sold in the close, and I said there will be a lot of people selling with stop order 1 tick underneath that bar. I don't like the wick, but it is what it is. It's still a big bar. Okay, so your stop goes up here, so you sold. Now you're coming down to this level. I'm looking for, I want to move my stop. I obviously don't want to leave it up there. That's ridiculously high and it's just too risky. So I'm about to, you know, scalp, right? So I want to move my stop somewhere safe. Now, what is that safe place? Well, this is too far. That's a lower high, but it's too far still. Now, where's the next lower high? Look at that right there. It's a bull bar. It actually went 1 tick above bar 8. To me, that's a lot safer. It's less risk, so I move that from there to there, okay? So now we go hit my target. We're now breaching below, but look, bar 11 went a couple of ticks above bar 10. That's the new lower high. I'm going to tighten that stop right there, but I'm never going to put my stop above, okay, bar 10. Why bar 10? Well, bar 10 did not go over anything, okay? It didn't breach high or prior bars. It's a continuation leg, so therefore, this is your lower high. Now we have a new lower high. Stop goes right there. Okay, I'm still selling. And then bar 14 happened. I wasn't very happy about that. And then they tried to sell. I explained to you, if I'm not happy, I'm sure a lot of people are not happy being stuck here because they're still selling, hoping that we're going to test. And so they did sell the highs. Okay, and they broke even. I explained how they broke even. Once I see a 2-bar closing bullish, I'm out. I hit exit. I broke even. I got out. Whatever. I don't even remember what I did. I think I sold and broke even right there. I didn't hit exit. I think I might have hit exit somewhere here. Anyway, so now my stop is still here. Okay, I'm still safe, but I was not happy because I didn't know it was going to go. Oh, no, I did hit exit. I'm sorry, because this came so close to my stop. I remember now. I did explain to you guys how to break even, But at that point, I actually did exit out because I wasn't really happy about that close. But look what happened there. We're now coming down. So now we have a new lower high. So move that stop from there to there, okay? So you're still thinking maybe we're going to get a new breakout. Now what happens? You can, bulls close a strong bull bar. Your stop is maybe like a couple of ticks above bar 16, and you're wondering, am I going to get hit, or should I just take profit and get out? So if I were you, once you see a bar like this, okay, that means bears try to sell, bears try to sell, even they try to sell for the third time. You see bar 20 close like that, just get out here so that you don't get your stop hit. And then you can reverse. I explained to you, this is a limit order market right here, okay? And you see that right there, a barbed wire situation, okay? Low, low, high. Look at bar 19, 20, and 21. Low, low, high. So the limit order buyers are buying because that bar also closed bullish. So you can put a buy stop order right there. And I said this is a 10 bar, okay? 2 legs to the EMA. So we're going to get to the EMA. So now you buy. Where's your stop? Now you can put your stop here under 18 or there. I would just put it under 18. And then I would take either profit here. Now, if I take profit there, I'm out. But if I don't take profit there at the EMA, where does my stop move? Bar 21 breached below bar 20. So that is the new higher low. So I'm going to move it from there to there. Okay? Now I have a new higher low. Bar 25 breached 1 tick below 24. I'm going to tighten my stop. I'm going to put it right there. Okay? But I reached my targets. I took profit before price came down with 2 legs to hit my stop. So I didn't have to move stop anywhere. I got what I came here for. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me scroll up a little bit to see what other questions. Is 23, 24, 25 barbed wire, and can you speak about the setup again? Barbed wires are basically, think about them as limit order market. Okay, so L used to use that term. If you actually read his books, you will see that term mentioned, but he no longer uses that. Okay, so he uses double top, micro double tops, and micro double bottoms because that's a lot better and scientific. He doesn't really like the fancy wording. But basically, it's a limit order market. You're getting double tops and you're getting double bottoms. So if I want to buy, I'm looking for maybe a bull bar with a low and a bear bar with a higher low. Market goes up, okay, and then comes down, but yet closes bullish. This is bull. Okay, so forget the inside. So it's bullish, but it makes a new low, but yet it closes higher because it's trapping the bears who are trying to sell. I see that, this. Okay? To me, there were buyers underneath that low, and the market closed higher, so I can just buy 1 tick above. So, for example, right here, right? So, 15, 16, 17, they started to buy under 16, so they probably have buy stop orders. Now, if you park your buy stop order 1 tick above 17, you did not get filled because bar 18 made a new low. That's fine. That means market is buying even more. But bar 18 is a strong bear body. How come a body like that doesn't get a follow through? It's because they're buying. They're not selling. Okay? They're buying. So that means, okay, I can still sit right there with my buy stop order or lower it 1 tick above as bar 19 comes in, fills me, and my stop is either under 18 or that low, and it comes down. We're still in the limit order market. So you're buying with a stop order in a limit order market, it's bound to pull back. But yet another one they show me. So market is throwing gifts at me because I know how those gifts look like. 19, 20, and 21. Another limit order buy underneath a bear bar, small pullback bull trend. When I see those barbed wires, I know it's a limit order market, but the bulls are able to close bull bars because that's a small pullback bull trend. I need to buy and accumulate. Hopefully this makes sense. Now you ask 23, 24, 25. 23, 24, 25. I just explained that it is. It's very vague, but it's there. Why? Because small pullback, bar 24. Continuation, bar 25. But the bulls did something very profound here. They closed the bar doji, not a bear doji. So they did the minimum to prevent 2 consecutive bear bars. If this bar 25 were to close bearish, we might have pulled back a little bit more. But it didn't. It came down, tested that low, which is the pullback bar. Small pullback bull trends. There are buyers waiting there, limit order buyers. You can put a buy order with a stop order there if you don't want to buy here. You get filled as market shows you that it's still bullish and you are going long. Okay. Next question. Could you elaborate on the negative gaps? Okay, so negative gaps to me, and I think that's how it's taught, and I believe Brad explained that several times as well. So basically, hold on a minute, this thing is beeping. Okay, so so you have a bull bar, then you have a bear bar. You have a bear bar. Okay. Then that's the highest high. Okay. Then you start to get bull bars. Doesn't matter. So you're looking for now a breakout. You got a breakout. Then you get a bear bar, pullback. But the bar's low does not touch, or it touches. Or say this doesn't touch. Okay, so this just went back up. And then you get another bull bar. And then this time you got a bear bar. Like that. That's the breakout point. And you got a wick. But the body is up here. You see that high? You see that low? It looks like gap is closed, but it's not. Because from that to that, from that body to that body close, this bull body close to the bear body close is still a gap, but it's a negative gap. Get it? So that means bulls are still in charge. And if we, most likely, market is going to buy that close and have a bull bar. That means we're still bullish. You can buy and go long. Okay. All right, so let's see. How do you set up the 60-minute 20 EMA on 5-minute chart? Maurice, are you, well, if you're asking, that means you're hearing me. That means you're part of the trading room. So go to the brookspriceaction.com, okay, and log in. That's the trade room website. Look left in the navigation. You're going to see something called downloads, although I don't know, but let me check. I don't want to lie. Or, Morris, are you part of my Rose, price action Rose Discord? Because I have the indicator under indicators, but only for NinjaTrader 8. If you are, you can grab it from there. But if you're not, then go to that brookspriceaction.com, log in, look left. Let me see if I actually logged in here. Okay, I am logged in. There's something called downloads. Okay, so in those downloads, I think it's charting related files. That might be it. Although I don't know. NinjaTrader, click on that. That's it. It's right there. NT8 EMA of higher time frame. You can set it up for 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 60 minutes. It's right there. Okay, so you can download it from there. There's a bar counter there, bar numbering for NT7 and all that good stuff. So they're all there. Okay. Next question. Have I skipped any questions? Just give me a second. I answered that, okay. Or if you don't want, if you're in a different platform, just use 200 EMA. It's exactly the same on RTH. It plots same space, same place, but it's just a smoother line, but it's really the same. Or, yeah. Okay, so that's it. I am done with my session. We did test the open of this climactic bar and this area. So yeah, and then let's see, this was my original measured move, and then there was a much better measured move right there. Now we have not met that target, but if you actually measure from here, okay, we just met the target, 72.75, I think. No, we didn't. We were short. They're front running with 1 or 2 ticks. But you got the point. Or you could say, well, maybe I don't want to put my stop there. I want to put my stop here. Then we just met the target. Either or. Or you could say, well, what about here? Okay, fine. If you're looking for continuation, that's your measured move, and we met that target. This is what I would take because it's a brand new breakout. Okay, so you guys have a great day. It's today and tomorrow. No Brad. So today is 5th. So afternoon we don't have any webinars. Now Brad comes back on Friday with L. Brooks. So tomorrow I'm on again at 9 o'clock. I'll see you guys. Bye everybody.